Before my mission, ever since growing up, I've always been a member of the church. Hasn't been a time when, I've ever doubted it or, just done anything else really. Like, it's always been something that's been important to me. But I did have, some experiences that really, solidly built my testimony. And I feel like it had been building, kind of little by little before that, as well as after. But, there were just a couple experiences that I remember specifically. One of them was when I went to EFY, just on the Thursday night fireside. When we were singing one of the songs, it was one of the most, powerful times I think I've ever felt the Spirit, was during that. And then there was another time when I went on a pioneer trek. It was like a stake activity. When I went there on that activity, at first I really didn't want to go. I felt like there was other things that, would be more fun than I could do, that would be more productive, stuff like that. But, I went anyways. And because I'd had like a kind of a sour mood, like just going on to the trip, it kind of got worse as the trip progressed, till I was just absolutely miserable. I didn't really want to participate in anything, and I just was having an awful time. But my parents had written like a little letter beforehand. It was part of the activity. All the parents would write a letter without, the kids knowing, and then that letter was given to them during the trek that they could read. And I read that, and they talked about how great of an example I was for my siblings, for my younger brothers, and basically how proud of me they were and everything else. And it really touched me, and I felt that, my conduct and attitude on that trip didn't match up with, my parents' praise, and I really wanted to just, change at that point. And so things just started, getting better. I wanted to participate in everything. I apologized to everyone that I'd been, sassy or snarky with, and just things started going uphill. And by the end of it, I remember doing the prayer that it wasn't anything that, the person said in the prayer specifically, but I just remember very clearly feeling during that prayer that, the gospel's true. And it's very clear and distinct. It wasn't like a super, strong prompting, but it was kind of like a reassurance that everything that I was doing was right, and that the church was true. And that was the first time I can clearly remember having full assurance. And I've had plenty after that. But that was a big turning point for me in my life.